All right. First, again, just thank you for your time. I really appreciate just being able to join with you here in your world you created, and it's just a really nice um, like opportunity, and just exploring this and getting into your inspiration behind your journey and how you got here. It's really exciting. But before I get into all that and talking about the rest, I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself, including your pronouns, your name, and what you want the audience to know about you.
So my name's Salena. My pronouns are she, her, and I like to make story worlds.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you say more about how you're introduced to virtual reality and how was it for the first time just experiencing that?
I think for me, like hopping in like VR for the first time was just the like unforgettable experience. Just being able to see like another world just like appear before you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm curious too, like hardware wise, what hardware were you using at the time, and like what was the time period like?
So the very first like hardware that I used was the original PSVR, and I used that on my PS4. And then I think after then I moved to the Oculus CV1.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Especially just that time period when those were starting. That was interesting, especially before the pandemic started. Um, can you tell me more specifically? I'm curious about your time in social VR. Can you tell me more about your introduction to that, to social VR specifically, and were you on other platforms outside of VRChat before VRChat, or um, yeah, yeah, how was that?
Sylvia Chen was my first and basically only social game. I pretty much joined because I think I joined because I saw a few like YouTube videos like way back in 2017, and it was from there where I was able to see just like the flexibility of just basically just choosing like whatever like avatar you wanted. You weren't limited to like what the platform wanted you to be. So this was a really freeing experience.
All right, now we're in Selena's. I would say it's one of your more popular worlds, Tenemis 3. Is that right? That's like one of your popular worlds.
It's one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my most popular one is actually my Universe 2 Legacy.
Ah, okay, okay. No, that's awesome. Well, yeah, but yeah, we're here in Tenemis 3, and here in front of some of the example interactables. We'll kind of get into that a little bit later, but yeah, I'm excited to get into our next set of questions. But yeah, just thinking of your worlds, and really, I'm also thinking about just how cinematic they are. Like, whenever I think of your worlds in particular, I'm thinking about, you know, how I think of a movie, really. I think about, I want to pop some popcorn and like just dive into a good mystery movie or thriller or, sci-fi movie. And that's the draw that produces, and kind of a kind of hunger to like explore. That's kind of what I get from your worlds, and it's really great to experience that. So, what inspired you to create at this level? Like, are there any specific stories or designs, or yeah, what really inspired you to create uh, like this?
So this world, like specifically, or this like trilogy?
Um, I would say the trilogy, and really just like your universe of worlds. Like, what inspired you to create and have this really the standard of play and experience.
So I would say that this world, so Tenebris 3, is kind of my, I guess, just ending, like, to this, like, this story. Because I've always planned, like, way before, that Tenebris 3 was going to be the last one, until I had to actually work on, like, how to end it. But I can never come up with the actual ending. Because Tenebris 1 and 2 kind of did have its own story, but I didn't quite, like, know where it was going. Because the way I do, like, build my worlds is I kind of start with the inception of, like, the idea, and I know, like, the ending, like, how I wanted to kind of, just kind of go.
Um,
And then, like, from there, like, the in-between is where I start to just get all the details, like, the details figured out. And so with Tenebris 3, what some people probably don't know is I already have, like, an older version of it, and it's done all the way to the, I guess, like, the first chapter,
mhm,
like, where chapter 1 ends. And so I immediately started Tenebris 3 right after Tenebris 2. So as soon as, I think it was like a week after, then I started working on it. But then I started just, like, running into, like, a bunch of burnout
mm,
and just a bunch of like, what do I do next? Oh, this area doesn't look good. And just so many revisions and changes to where I eventually just stopped working on it. And so I never had an ending. And that too with him. So it's like, why, like, where am I going? And so I just put it on hold. And then I released it as a demo load. So fun fact about Tenebris Regrowth. So Regrowth was supposed to be my first remaster of Tenebris 1 and 2. It was going to be like a combined, or it was like, it is a combined one, because Tenebris 1 is so short. I was able just to literally just plop it on
mm.
the Tenebris 2, and so I had the continuation that way. And so I wanted a more, like, coherent story, because I didn't want to just, like, have those breaks.
Ah, okay.
And so in Tenebris Regrowth, I actually have 2 statues from when we were talking about before, because Tenebris 1 had one, and Tenebris 2 had one.
Mm,
And so I had a secret Easter egg where if you put both of them, like, on this pedestal, the portal for the demo would pop up.
oh,
And that was a long time ago. So I did Reverie for Space Jam Master, and then I released the Fazakura. And it was from there where my style started to shift. Like, I felt like it changed to just the way, like, I make everything. And so when I came back to Tenebris 3, the old way I did it, I just couldn't work on it.
mm.
And so the only way that I was able to, like, just work on it all is if I just, like, redid it from scratch again.
I'm curious about I I'm very I realized that the tooltip here there's actually two different descriptions. So I hover over it, I see a burnt out fuse, then I pick it up and it says there must be another fuse around here. So I'm kind of just thinking about this, and my question really is, How do you guide users through your worlds and into your stories without pushing them too hard or giving the story away? Like what are some different examples of how you like achieve a balance in there?
It's actually pretty difficult to just push someone along. And so, like most of my worlds, I would say are pretty like linear with backtracking. So like basically, so there's like one direct pathway that they can go, and then if there's a like a dead end, I'm hoping that they're curious enough to like just start touching things, and then like when you said you picked this
Hmm.
then this gives you the hint like on what to do. But I guess I've kind of been experimenting because even in my Reverie remastery, I've started trying to do a lot more, like with lighting. So I would have kind of like the areas that you're not supposed to go, kind of like darken more. In the areas that you can go are lit up. But even with that, people in VR just are. I just I guess they just look at everything.
Mm,
And so it's really hard without just taking control of their camera. And that's something I really don't want to do.
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's interesting too. Just all these different, I guess, subtle nudges you can try to give the user to see how they can navigate to the right spot and proceed. But I guess at the same time they're taking in the experience and I guess kind of bonding with their worlds too. So it's yeah, yeah, I can see how it's tricky for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna get into more, I guess, the broad like universe of your worlds. But yeah, you have 18 worlds in total, and including the one you like submitted for Reverie Remastered for the latest Space Jam that just wrapped up. And um, yeah, congratulations, by the way, on getting recognized by the National Space Society of Australia in the Sustainable Space and Resilient Earth category. Just considering that, and yeah, just the process with that. Like, which world is your favorite, and I guess why? Would it be your favorite of the worlds that you've created?
I do have a few favorites, but my all-time favorite is Artemis. This the first world that we were in, and that one's my favorite because it was I guess to say it was I guess just the world that had like all the themes, like the themes and the music that I always wanted to do.
All right, so we're back in Artifice, and yeah, it's a lot warmer back here after going back to numbers three. It's very interesting to kind of like feel like that change in atmosphere. So yeah, I just again really appreciate how you build an atmosphere, whether that's the sky or the story. Kind of, it's a different level of embodiment in virtual worlds. So I appreciate what you do with that. But yeah, speaking of doing that, I want to get into how you do this and your advice for people on how to get their worlds to a place like this that's pushing the boundaries of what VR chat is capable of just outside of the pixels too. So yeah, how did you gain these skills to create worlds in VR chat, and are you using these skills outside of your chat or even professionally, or how did you gain the skills to do this kind of work here?
Well, I don't like do like anything professionally. So all of my experiences, like with Unity and Blender, pretty much all just come from VRC. So when I first basically started, when I said like I wanted to make my home world, that was basically when I started. So I started learning Blender, and then I learned Unity, and I used the old scripting, so VRC trigger, and then they removed that one. And so it's just constantly just trying to learn just more ways to just bring everything together.
What's your advice to not just newer world builders or world creators, but also intermediate uh, world creators? What's your advice for them on how to push their boundaries?
So the first thing that I tell everyone that just kind of asks is there's so many free assets out there that you can just basically just use for the rules that you want to do. So all of these runs, well, not all of them, but a good majority of them. So the one behind you, in all of these ones, these are all the free assets that I got off the asset store.
Oh,
And it's more of a don't I would just say just be creative with them. Don't use them as a just as they are, which I mean scale and size. So you can just make the thing whatever you want it to be. Don't be constrained on what it is.
can you tell our audience here about any future projects that you're working on, and how can they stay updated on that and your progress?
My current project is actually another remaster, but I'm actually doing Tenverse Regrowth, which was of course Tenverse 1 and 2 together.
Ah,
And it's gonna be it's from the ground up. So all the environments are new. They're still the same layout as the old ones, because I don't want to differentiate from it
mm-hmm.
too much. But it's every room is remade from scratch to fit the new style that I want to go for. Then to keep up with the things that I do, I have a group. It's called Faceman's Domain, and I also have some social media. So there's my Twitter at Salena VRC, and then if you'd like to support me, I have a Patreon and Ko-Fi.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And again, I just appreciate your time here. This is really quite a privilege just to be able to learn more about what you do and how you do it, and your journey as you've done it, which you definitely have. So, let's see if I can give some emojis here. Emojis of appreciation, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.